Hi everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a reading with the Cat Tarot and focusing on what's going to come this Monday. Six of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, and Ace of Cups. Alright. Some kind of abundance coming in, usually in the terms of financials. Maybe fighting with yourself, but also finding peace within yourself. Fighting with someone else about money. Maybe a sibling. Maybe have something to your name and they want some of it. Something about a book signing. Interesting. Wheel of Fortune usually has to do with monetary, and the Moon usually has to do with like hidden things, like emotionally hidden things, illusions, somebody who's been lying. Wheel of Fortune, it could be somebody who's been lying about how much money they have. Oh, can you just cover this? Because I like the Magician. Yeah, someone's magic isn't working on you, perhaps. Maybe Eight of Pentacles, maybe a sword card. Maybe autumn is significant here. Seeing someone at a holiday in the autumn. The Star, Temperance. Maybe somebody's losing your patience, or they're sort of testing you too much here. Yeah, something's getting everywhere, spilling out. The truth is spilling out, perhaps. Someone playing the fool. New beginnings. Alright. Yeah, but your plate's full. You have enough. You have a lot, actually. Ten of Swords. Safety is closer than you think. Queen of Pentacles. I don't know. This being reversed makes me think like normally I would go to a distinct opposite, but I think Queen of Pentacles in this case is like you're no longer digging into your pocket or your funds for someone else. Yeah, maybe this is someone who talks to you a lot. It could be a therapist. It could be that you're deciding to find someone new. full card, new beginnings. Alright. Anything to help this person in this coming week? Any clarifications? Okay. Harmony and strength. Okay. Alright. Any more advice this coming week? I believe this is the last week in April, right? We got a 3. Yeah, May on the calendar. Hope you can see that. Yeah. Crossing that bridge when we get there. And almost interesting. I'm fighting, but not enough to rip something apart. And again with the infinities. An endless continuation of something that is starting anew. And on a Monday. That's pretty fabulous. Right. Yeah. Playtime's over. That could be significant. But yeah, this card's pretty significant here. Usually whatever card kind of ends up the last on the table, it's like a full circle kind of thing. But I think you're good financially in this case. Something being backwards might be significant. Or upside down. Okay. Woo! I'm getting into the Little Frog's Guide to Self-Care. Feeling rushed might be significant. That came up in a recent reading as well. To rest without guilt. This card came out recently as well. And more than my struggles. I am on my own timeline. I will not compare my journey to anyone else's. Yeah. And you know, honestly, I had kind of a whole I don't even know what last night where I don't know, it was just sort of like even the people I see that are doing the things I want to do, there's like a whole concept of if you do things like before their time, you're essentially doing it a little bit unprepared, which is fine. That's absolutely fine. You don't have to be so prepared all the time, but I definitely think doing things before their time can kind of, someone said it could be catastrophic. And just sometimes I see people doing certain things that maybe I want to do, or it's just, there's a lot of people doing it. And I'm almost like, wow, how are they doing that right now? How do you have that much of a resource to go do those things? And a lot of times those people don't actually have those resources, and I'm hoping everybody does, good vibes, good energy, just, yeah. But I've just noticed that there's this idea that we all have to be at this certain place at this certain time, and we get so rushed by other people, and it makes us feel really inadequate because we think that we have to be on a certain level, or that we should be somewhere because of our age, or maybe what it is it's genuinely unfair that everybody is in this situation where we can't get our basic needs met. We can't go and pursue something. And it's not necessarily that it's not even the right time. It's just there's a lot of cataclysmic energy happening. It's very Pandora's box, white buffalo calf energy. And it's not funny at all. It just is laughable because there's not even room left to cry anymore, and even then you don't want to talk about how you're crying and how you're upset, because you want to be grateful for what you have, because you have abundance, like the card said. Everybody does have abundance in their own way. And manifesting abundance for everybody. That's great. There's this donut shop that I love, and whenever I'm feeling particularly whatever, I'll send good energy to the donut shop. That might be significant. I felt a little off the topic, but it's just so hard to tell right now, I think. Am I in the right place? Am I doing the right thing? Am I talking to the right people? Will I feel late? Will I feel resentful when I finally get to the place I want to be at, because it was so hard? Because it's one thing when something's hard work and you've earned it and you can be proud of yourself. But when other people have stood in your way, there was this video I saw, and it was a woman, and she said she was 50 something, I can't remember, and she was crying outside of this dance class she had just taken, and she was telling people, she wished she had danced her whole life, and she let all of a toxic relationship, she said, other people's opinions, not having enough resources for it, all of these things just kept getting in her way. And sometimes things get in your way so much that you almost want to blame yourself, because you have to blame. In our minds, I think as humans, we're taught that we have to blame someone, that there has to be a reason, until we blame ourselves, even when other people are often responsible for holding us back. So we're mad at ourselves, we're mad at other people, we're mad at the universe, we're mad at whatever we believe in, because we think that, I put in the good stuff. I had to tell the universe at one point, please stop making me be karma for people. Please stop making me be the one to have to explain, hey, don't mistreat me. And again, it's just laughable. It's not funny, it's not entertaining, it's not anything other than this is so ridiculous that I'm laughing. Because I want to be on my own timeline. And somehow all these other people think they get to just do whatever. It's like, I don't particularly love the actor, but if you've ever seen that one Doctor Strange movie, I think it was like the last one, and it's like this force that's trying to tell everybody what to do and, you know, be this like oppressive energy, and it's like, well, I guess if you're gonna try to make me your guy here, I guess I'm just gonna fight you forever. Like, it just, you know, and then you're surrounded by all these people who make these bad decisions. I'm really sorry if I'm spoiling anything, you know. Go watch your movie. But like you trust in certain people only to find out that, you know, oh shit, you get all of your power from this really dark place, and you think that it's okay because you've never seen somebody get energy from a positive place. You don't think it's possible. And so I definitely think that it's difficult to navigate energies of feeling like this is supposed to be a moment, like a quinceañera might be significant, of just like, how am I supposed to celebrate right now? How am I supposed to exist right now? How am I going to afford these things? Who will I become? And why is my timeline being set into a different era, essentially, because of somebody else's bad energy? It's not my energy. I'm not the Balrog, you know, like, I'm not here to mess anybody up, or, you know, it's like you want to help people. So I hope that wasn't too rambly, but it's just, we are more than our struggles. And you are allowed to rest in this time, and that's all so significant and true. And sometimes I had to remind myself this morning that, like, not everybody who's in this position of, I'm not even going to call it power, of like idolization, it comes with strings, and it also is very fake. Like, you can put on a fancy hat and you can sit on a throne, but nature knows no kings. And I think that's the thing. It's like, oh, let me erase all of that. But it's like, girl, even Cleopatra got taken out by a snake hiding under a lavender bush. At least according to mythology. But it's like, you know, there's all this power and all this money and all this influence and all this ability to tell people to go do these crazy things, and it feels like someone else can move the earth. But it's actually insanely fragile. Like, if you follow somebody who started a company or something like that, it's like you think that it's all perfect and easy and wonderful, and then, you know, behind the surface you don't see them worried about debt, you don't see them worried about, I think this is the one, also going to put this one in because it's pretty helpful. Don't do this one too much. I did it too much and kind of hurt my chin. But, yeah, just a breathing exercise of staying relaxed and in this really hard time that we're all going through. I think it's important to stop and recalibrate and remember, like, I'm even more than my journey is. I am more than a climate. I am more than fighting. I'm more than an app, okay? We live in this year that's dictated by all these different calendars, and we do these things and we try our best, and being alive in 2026 is not for the faint of heart. Like, I survived a plague to be here, you know? And there's people who still are here testing me and making it hard. So maybe you just needed to hear that you're not alone in that. And I follow this lady, and she says, "This too shall pass," at the end of all of her videos. This might be significant to someone, but I watched, it was a Queen of the Capitol, and it's this drag queen, and they're like a charity organization that they run in Washington. Military service could be significant. But they sort of told this story about how they grew up in the Baptist church, and at some point, I believe they switched over to Presbyterian or something like that. And they got a lot of, it's just fascinating to me to think that there's so many different opinions and so many people trying to say, oh no, my opinion is gospel, essentially. Or that, well, you're born this, so you must be this thing. And it's just, whatever this energy is just like people telling you what to do, asking you for money, rushing you, making you feel uncomfortable, telling you where you need to be at what age in your life, how prepared you should be, when it seems that nobody else is prepared. Everybody else is asking you for money, but you're somehow unprepared. I think that makes sense. And spiritually, the cards the whole time have been telling you rest and relaxation. Don't even sweat it. All that energy, all the negativity, all the pressure, it just, Under Pressure is a great song by Queen. Maybe that could be significant, or you should go listen to it. But yeah, it's just hard. Trying to navigate this world that is so heated and so painful right now, when all you want to do is maybe pursue something that will change your future or lead into your future, and feeling that sense of, I wish it was my time, because I don't want to go before my time. I don't want to force something to fit that doesn't fit. yeah, I think the main takeaways are try to relax in an impossible time. Try to believe in yourself again in an impossible time to do so. And know that there are no forces that are working against you on the spiritual plane. Like any human being that's sending you negativity, any of that, it's like, and it is funny, there's a, I think her name is Ray, she did a song called Joy, it was on Stephen Colbert's show, and it was basically like, she says, like, any negative word that whispers in my ear, I say, I rebuke you. You are not welcome here. So yeah, religion could be significant. Definitely came up a lot. It was coming up before I even started the reading, so I just wish you well, and I hope you know that you're not alone. And I know that's not very comforting either. Sometimes it's like, great, I feel terrible, I'm not alone. Everyone else also feels terrible, and they don't talk about it either. How lovely. It's like, yeah, I don't know what to do with all of that either, but I think reconnecting to ourselves, like Legend of Korra, almost like you have to go into the time tree and bend the energy within yourself like the ancients once did, so you can fight off the evil. Even if goodness and evil fight in eternity in that world, it's like, I can at least try. I can get back up. I can find this source of power within that I cannot get anywhere else, because I am the only me. Because I know the truth of my own existence. I'm not trying to gain favor with anyone. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like logic doesn't exist for the sake of, something old. It's an ever-evolving thing, and sometimes I think people forget that, even within the context of Christianity, which I think is strange to even try to define it as one thing when it's all about these particular people who disagree with each other the whole time, even within the Bible. I think sometimes we forget that we are the current story in that case. That every choice we make, that everything we're doing is just as much of a story as it was 2,000 years ago. And I think some people don't like that. They want there to be the spiritual and then the humanity. And that's just not... They're not two separate entities. There is just sheer, blatant existence. And trying to compartmentalize those existences into life and death and before and after and spiritual and physical. It's like you are on a floating rock in the middle of the universe, and you got two people trying to tell you that, it's a structured binary computer that's just gonna spit out what you want, and then the other half is like, well, it means nothing. And it's just like, I exist in the middle, and a lot of people exist in the middle, because we are here in the current moment. Yeah. Well, It feels like a long message, but why not? Something closing with this person I need to hear. Southern Road, Silver Lining, and Flora in reverse. These are just paint cards. But, yeah, a color story might be significant. It's sort of very neutral. Maybe that's it, being neutral. Taking care of yourself and not changing for anyone. I very rarely pull these out. I like them a lot, but they are very, like, connected to all the things for me. Blue sky thinking. A hopeful energy. You have a great rest of your week, and that you get some rest. Thank you so much for stopping by. See you next week.